The 1 Year Bible, the Living Bible Paraphrased, January 4th. God didn't forget about Noah and all the animals in the boat. He sent the wind to blow across the waters, and the floods began to disappear, for the subterranean water sources ceased their gushing, and the torrential rain subsided. So the flood gradually receded until 150 days after it began, the boat came to rest upon the mountains of Ararat. 3 months later, as the waters continued to go down, other mountain peaks appeared. After another 40 days, Noah opened a porthole and released a raven that flew back and forth until the earth was dry. Meanwhile, he sent out a dove to see if it could find dry ground, but the dove found no place to light and returned to Noah, for the water was still too high. So Noah held out his hand and drew the dove back into the boat. 7 days later, Noah released the dove again, and this time, toward evening, the bird returned to him with the olive leaf in her beak. So Noah knew that the water was almost gone. A week later, he released the dove again, and this time she didn't come back. 29 days after that, Noah opened the door to look, and the water was gone. 8 more weeks went by. Then at last the earth was dry. Then God told Noah, "You may all go out, release all the animals, birds and reptiles, so that they will breed abundantly and reproduce in great numbers." So the boat was soon empty. Noah, his wife, and his sons, and all their wives, all disembarked, along with all the animals, reptiles, and birds. All left the ark in pairs and groups. Then Noah built an altar and sacrificed on it some of the animals and birds God had designated for that purpose. And Jehovah was pleased with the sacrifice and said to himself, "I will never do it again. I will never again curse the earth, destroying all living things, even though man's bent is always toward evil from his earliest youth, and even though he does such wicked things. As long as the earth remains, there will be springtime and harvest, cold and heat, winter and summer, day and night." God blessed Noah and his sons and told them to have many children and to repopulate the earth. "All wild animals and birds and fish will be afraid of you," God told him, "for I have placed them in your power, and they are yours to use for food, in addition to grain and vegetables. But never eat animals unless their lifeblood has been drained off, and murder is forbidden. Man killing animals must die, and any man who murders shall be killed. For to kill a man is to kill one made like God. Yes, have many children and repopulate the earth and subdue it." Then God told Noah and his sons, "I solemnly promise you and your children and the animals you brought with you, all these birds and cattle and wild animals, that I will never again send another flood to destroy the earth. And I seal this promise with this sign. I have placed my rainbow in the clouds as a sign of my promise until the end of time, to you and to all the earth. When I send clouds over the earth, the rainbow will be seen in the clouds, and I will remember my promise to you and to every being, that never again will the floods come and destroy all life. For I will see the rainbow in the cloud and remember my eternal promise to every living being on the earth." The name of Noah's 3 sons were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham is the ancestor of Canaan, of the Canaanites. From these 3 sons of Noah came all the nations of the earth. Noah became a farmer and planted a vineyard, and he made wine. One day, as he was drunk and lay naked in his tent, Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father's nakedness, went outside and told his two brothers. Then Shem and Japheth took a robe and held it over their shoulders, and walking backwards into the tent, let it fall across their father to cover his nakedness as they looked the other way. When Noah awoke from his drunken stupor and learned what had happened and what Ham, his younger son, had done, he cursed Ham's descendants. A curse upon the Canaanites, he swore. May they be the lowest of slaves to the descendants of Shem and Japheth. Then he said, God bless Shem, and may Canaan be his slave. God bless Japheth, and let him share the prosperity of Shem, and let Canaan be his slave. Noah lived another 350 years after the flood, and was 950 years old at his death. These are the families of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, who were the three sons of Noah, for sons were born to them after the flood. The sons of Japheth were Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshach, Tiras. The sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Riphtha, Togarmah. The sons of Javan, Ishha, Tarshish, Kittim, Dodanim. Their descendants became the maritime nations in various lands, each with a separate language. The sons of Ham were Cush, Mizraim, Put, Canaan. The sons of Cush were Sheba, Havilah, Sabta, Raamah, Sabteka. The sons of Raamah were Sheba, Dedan. One of the descendants of Cush was Nimrod, who became the first of the kings. He was a mighty hunter, blessed of God, and his name became proverbial. People would speak of someone as being like Nimrod, a mighty hunter, blessed of God. The heart of his empire included Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh, and the land of Shinar. From there he extended his reign to Assyria. He built Nineveh, Rehoboth, Calneh, and Resen, which is located between Nineveh and Calneh, the main city of the empire. Mizraim was the ancestor of the people inhabiting these areas. Ludim, Anamim, Lehabim, Naphtuhim, Pathrushim, Cashuhim, from whom came the Philistines, and Caphtorim. Canaan's oldest son was Sidon, and he was also the father of Heth. From Canaan descended these nations: Jebusites, Amorites, Girgashites, Hivites, Arkites, Sinites, Arvadites, Zemarites, Hamathites. Eventually the descendants of Canaan spread from Sidon all the way to Gerar in the Gaza Strip, and to Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, and Zeboim near Lasha. These, then, were the descendants of Ham, spread abroad in many lands and nations, with many languages. Eber descended from Shem, the oldest brother of Japheth. Here is a list of Shem's other descendants: Elam, Asher, Arphaxad, Lud, Aram. Aram's sons were Uz, Hul, Gether, Mash. Arpach's son was Selah, and Shelah's son was Eber. The two sons were born to Eber, Peleg, meaning division, for during his lifetime the people of the world were separated and dispersed, and Joktan, Peleg's brother. Joktan was the father of Almodad, Shelah, Hazmaraveth, Jera, Hadoram, Azel, Dikla, Obel, Abimael, Sheba, Ophir, Havilah, Jobab. These descendants of Joktan lived all the way from Mesha to the eastern hills of Shephar. These then were the descendants of Shem, classified according to their political groupings, languages, and geographical locations. All of the men listed above descended from Noah through many generations, living in the various nations that developed after the flood. From the Gospel of Matthew. When Jesus heard that John had been arrested, he left Judea and returned home to Nazareth in Galilee. But soon he moved to Capernaum, beside the lake of Galilee, close to Zebulun and Naphtali. This fulfilled Isaiah's prophecy. The land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, beside the lake, and the country beside the Jordan River, and upper Galilee, where so many foreigners live. There the people who sat in darkness have seen a great light. They sat in the land of death, and the light broke through upon them. From then on Jesus began to preach, "Turn from sin and turn to God, for the kingdom of heaven is near." One day, as he was walking along the beach beside the lake of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon, also called Peter, and Andrew, out in the boat, fishing with a net, for they were commercial fishermen. Jesus called out, "Come along with me, and I will show you how to fish for the souls of men." And they left their nets at once and went with him. A little farther up the beach he saw two other brothers, James and John, sitting in a boat with their father, Zebedee, mending their nets, and he called to them to come too. At once they stopped their work, and leaving their father behind, went with him. Jesus traveled all through Galilee, teaching in the Jewish synagogues, everywhere preaching the good news about the kingdom of heaven. And he healed every kind of sickness and disease. The report of his miracles spread far beyond the borders of Galilee, so that sick folk were soon coming to be healed from as far away as Syria. And whatever their illness and pain, or if they were possessed by demons, or were insane or paralyzed, he healed them all. Enormous crowds followed him wherever he went, people from Galilee and the 10 cities and Jerusalem and from all over Judea, and even from across the Jordan River. Psalm 4, verses 1 through 8. O God, you have declared me perfect in your eyes. You have always cared for me in my distress. Now hear me as I call again. Have mercy on me. Hear my prayer. And the Lord God asked, Sons of men, will you forever turn my glory into shame by worshiping these silly idols, while every claim that's made for them is false? Mark this well. The Lord has set apart the redeemed for himself. Therefore, he will listen to me and answer when I call to him. Stand before the Lord in awe, and do not sin against him. Lie quietly upon your bed in silent meditation. Put your trust in the Lord and offer him pleasing sacrifices. Many say that God will never help us. Prove them wrong. Prove them wrong, O Lord, by letting the light of your face shine down upon us. Yes, the gladness you have given me is far greater than their joys at harvest time, as they gaze at their bountiful crops. I will lie down in peace and sleep, for though I am alone, O Lord, you will keep me safe. Proverbs chapter 1 verses 20 through 23. Wisdom shouts in the streets for a hearing. She calls out to the crowds along Main Street, and to the judges in their courts, to everyone in all the land. You simpletons, she cries, how long will you go on being fools? How long will you scoff at wisdom and fight the facts? Come here and listen to me. I'll pour out the spirit of wisdom upon you and make you wise.